ladies, and congratulations. You formed a team of servant leaders to lead the very important work of PWC at your military installation. And at this point in your training day, you've received lots of great information about the mission of PWC, serving together with your chaplains and chapel staff partners, and how to grow through conflicts as individuals and as a team. This final training module is focused on team building within the context of your PWC board. A team of experts does not necessarily make an expert team. Hold on to that saying. We're going to keep coming back to that throughout the rest of our time together. We know there are so many ways to unpack the concept of team building, right? However, to get you started today, we'd like to briefly present 3 components to best build your team. They are coordination, communication, and adaptability. These foundational blocks probably aren't new to you. They're based on research by the American Psychological Association, and we've adapted them to our PWC ministry context. We hope that as you think and pray intentionally about each of these 3 components, coordination, communication, and adaptability, your team will be greatly impacted as you learn to serve together. So, our first team building foundational block is coordination. What is coordination? Well, it's the process of organizing different individuals' skills, abilities, and knowledge to meet a combined goal. We see this in the Bible beginning in Exodus 35, the building of the tabernacle. In Exodus 36, verse 2, it says, "Then Moses summoned Bezalel and Oholiab and every skilled person to whom the Lord had given ability and who was willing to come and do the work." We see God call and equip his people with specific skills to accomplish what he asked of them. 2 things to note. God called more than one person and equipped with more than one ability. So what does coordination look like in a PWC framework? Well, the good news is you've already begun this work. Look around the room. Each woman you see has been identified as having specific skills, experiences, personality, and most importantly, a calling from the Lord to serve with you this year. Going forward, you each have some individual and team member task work to accomplish. For example, the woman serving as your publicity board member needs to individually prepare by beginning work on social media platforms, advertising, flyer images, and researching your installation's communication systems, right? However, she also needs to coordinate with board members about deadlines and content. She also needs to coordinate with other offices on the installation to participate in their newspaper, their social media, etc. The individuals you met or discussed earlier during that chaplain training module are a part of your extended team. They also have been identified as having talents and God's sovereign planning to be in these positions at this time. Let's take a quick detour and touch on the importance of your team deciding together what method you're going to use to coordinate together. Group text, email, Facebook group, Slack app. Also, coming to a group agreement of how much time should elapse in replying to one another will serve your team well in the long run. So, practically speaking, to best accomplish coordination as a PWC team of board members, your team needs to do some team goal setting. This can be in the form of vision casting. Now, hopefully, your board has already discussed the vision God has for your PWC this year. And if not to worry. The Executive Board Training module has great information on forming a vision together. But we're referring to vision casting for your specific board area of service, which should support your overarching ministry vision for the year. So what is Publicity's specific ministry vision for this year? What is Outreach's specific ministry vision for this year? Remember to always keep in mind PWC's 4 aims: lead women to Christ, teach them God's word, develop their spiritual gifts, and involve them in chapel ministry. Vision casting for your specific board role and sharing this with your team is also a really valuable part of team goal setting. So as a group, we'd like you to consider these questions. Does our PWC ministry vision for the year address those aims? How do you, as an individual board member, support your PWC's vision? How do you need to work with other board members and chapel staff to accomplish your part of your PWC's vision? What is your specific board role's vision for the year? For example, what is InReach's vision for the year? What is Hospitality's vision for the year? And finally, what are the individual goals of each board member in terms of personal growth and team contribution? At this point, please press pause on this video so your team can discuss these questions. We mentioned that coordination includes task work of the individual to accomplish their specific board position job. What about those shared responsibilities of board members that are not constrained to individual job descriptions, like committing to a weekly PWC Bible study? Is that a board member responsibility? Some people call these unspoken expectations. We want to discuss these because we are each a member of the larger PWC team, not just our worship team, for example. We support one another. So some questions to consider as a group now would be, what is my responsibility at a PWC kickoff or program event if my individual tasks are already complete? What is my role at a weekly PWC gathering once my board job is done? Let's speak on those unspoken expectations. What goals can our team set together here? We're going to give you some time to interact together as a board now and wrap up today's discussion of coordination. We provided some guidance in the Leader's Guide to help direct your time together. Remember, God has called you each to this specific spot at this specific time. Make sure every member of your team is involved and able to contribute to these activities and discussions.